What is up, everybody? I am super sorry that I am late to the stream. I was writing, I have a good reason. I was writing and I sort of like lost sense of time. So I really apologize for that. So, and I lost sense of time because I was doing exactly what I'm going to talk to you about in this video, which is reverse outlining. If you hate outlining, I would say that you should probably start by reverse outlining, and you'll get the taste for it, and you'll get the hang for it. You'll develop your right outlining skills. At least that's how it worked for me. So first, what is reverse outlining? Reverse outlining is doing an outline after you have written the first draft of a paper or a section of the paper. So right now, yesterday I finished writing the discussion section of one of my papers, and now, as you can see, I am reverse outlining. Okay, so an outline, you outline and then you write. A reverse outline, you write and then you outline. Okay, and for me, who I'm not a genius and therefore need multiple opportunities to think about a paper, a reverse outline is first and foremost an opportunity to engage again with the data, with the paper, and with my ideas. Okay, but it is also a way to improve the paper. Okay, and so what are my three main tips for reverse outlining? The first one is that when you reverse outlining, you should be thinking about how you are going to rewrite the paper. A reverse outline is not an opportunity to pat yourself in the back for the amazing job that you have done. Okay? So, when you reverse outlining, think through what you have written. Does it make sense? Is it well structured? Is there something missing? Or is there an idea that you just have not gotten right? In my experience, there will be between one or two things that I really got wrong, and so I'm always looking for that when I reverse outline. The idea is to catch yourself in a reverse outline. Okay, so you need to go through the section of the paper with a real critical stance. Second thing, in a reverse outline, you are cutting flesh, or at least what you think is flesh. Typically, I don't know if it's the same thing with everybody, but typically papers are too long, right? Because there are some like super cool things that we thought about, and you know, we had this great idea, so I want to have this on the paper because I think it's cute. No, in a reverse outline, you are cutting the paper to its bare essentials, to what you need to make your argument. Okay, so think about, take a cut in mind when you reverse outlining, and that cutting approach is not only about, you know, where can I find fat to cut, but which flesh can you cut without damaging the paper. Third tip for a reverse outline is to always mirror reverse outline. What does this mean? This means that when you're reverse outlining, you should always think back to the mirror section in the paper. So when you reverse outlining the discussion, look at the theory. When you reverse outlining the theory, look at the discussion. When you're reverse outlining the conclusion, look at the introduction, and so on and so forth. Okay, to make sure that these are aligned. Okay, so the three things that you're doing in a reverse outline is improving the paper, correcting mistakes. That's the first one. Second one, cutting whatever you think is flesh, but that can actually be cut from the paper. Third thing, making sure that the different pieces of the paper fit one another. Okay, now three tips for reverse outlining. Sometimes you'll be typing your draft and you'll have ideas or you think about things that you need to change, finish the draft. The purpose of the draft is to have that section of the paper finished. It's not it's to be finished. It's not to be good. A good draft is a finished draft. So don't stop yourself and try to rewrite things, because sometimes as you go down the specific part of the paper, you'll see that what you thought needed to be a major rewrite actually is not. So make notes. In Scrivener, make sure that you use the notes pane to do that, right? So I told you that they'll always have a note, a little notes document for each part of the paper in Scrivener. So you'll see that here in the discussion that I'm reverse outlining now, there are 3 things that I wrote. Here I wrote them as thoughts, but sometimes I title them as notes. And I wrote them because I want to use them in my reverse outline. You'll see that I'll do the same thing in the methods, in the theory section, but obviously I've reverse outlined that already, so it's down here in the archive. Okay, so you can see them here. Good. Second thing, when you are cutting flesh, there will be some things that are cool, some interesting ideas, some interesting bits of text that can be useful in other papers. They may even be papers on their own, right? So make sure to save these bits of text that I call the savory bits, the ones that taste really good. Okay, make sure to save them. In tomorrow's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the graveyard that you should have for your papers. So don't just take out things when you're reverse outlining. Make sure that you save the things that are good. Finally, very practical tip: triple plane when you are reverse outlining, and this is for Scrivener, right? So right now I'm reverse outlining the discussion, which is paired with the theory section in a paper, right? So what I'll do is I'll take out the inspection area on Scrivener. I'll reduce these 2 panes. So this is the pane of the discussion section, the draft. This is the notes, and I'll open as quick reference. I'll open the outline of the theory section, So, and I can close this headliner. Okay. So there you go. Okay. So this means that when I'm reverse outlining, I have at the same time the text, the draft of the discussion section that I wrote, and the outline of the theory section to which the discussion section needs to speak to. This is super, super useful and important. Saves you time from having to go back to the theory section, but most importantly, it prompts you, it motivates you, it guides you to make sure that you do take what is in the theory section into account. Okay? So this is reverse outlining and my tips. Hopefully this was helpful for everybody, and I'll catch everybody tomorrow. Thank you and bye-bye.